up, guys? Welcome back to Relationship, Romance, and Propaganda podcast with Imani, Shakur, and Rachel K. Burke, film director extraordinaire, actress, author extraordinaire. It is 2020. It's show number 2. We're going to try to start this year off with a bang and keep things rolling and going. And last week we talked about if you should allow a cheater back into your life. That was an interesting episode. We both had some great stories to tell and some things to reflect on.
You did.
And I don't plan on cheating, and I hope Em doesn't either.
You don't seem like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
And we've actually talked about that. You said, no, babe, I'm not that type of person. I've never cheated on my ex before, which I was happy to hear.
Yeah.
Because it can be traumatizing if you've been through that. Anyway, we're the only podcast that expose the truth and broadcast the lies. And don't forget to subscribe on ISC&T Group Digital. Listen where you get your podcasts. We are everywhere. We appreciate the love. rptalktruth@gmail.com if you have any questions. And follow us on Twitter. You can just look up Relationships, Romance, and Propaganda, and you will find us.
Oh, I should probably follow us
on Twitter, right?
I never used Twitter.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's just something you got to just have,
I know. It's like it's one of those things like with books. It's like, oh God, I have a Twitter
Right.
account. I think I posted to it like 5 years ago.
Right, exactly. And talking about books, a rock and roll love story.
I got a couple.
Sound bites and love bites. Google them. Amazon, you'll find them both. See, and I said the titles right this time.
You did. Some good relationship lessons I learned there in my 20s.
Exactly. There it is, guys. So today we're going to talk about, does love conquer all, or is it circumstantial? And I say it doesn't, and it's very circumstantial.
It does not.
So let's get into it, Ray. So I'm going to let you jump it off this time.
Okay. Guys, love does not.
Take some notes.
Love does not conquer all.
No, definitely not.
Which is something I did not believe 10 years ago. Yeah, when I was early 20s, mid 20s, I truly believed that love conquered all. One of the reasons actually is because, the guy I was just talking about in my last podcast, like I just became very enamored with this guy who was a singer, and I thought he was like the end all be all, and I thought if we were together, that would be it. I would never look at another man again. Soulmates.
We talked about soulmates.
We would love each other. Love would conquer all. That would be it.
Yeah.
And ironically, now I know him now, and now he's a friend, and now I realize that we would actually be miserable together. Like,
right. Yeah.
Because
what you think in a moment would be great, you realize later it wouldn't have been that great.
Yeah. Well, you become so enamored with somebody, you don't. I mean, sometimes you don't really know them as a person or how you're going to be compatible. And now I'm like, I still, I think he's a wonderful person and just a total inspiration. But I actually think he'd be a terrible boyfriend.
Right.
It's a terrible partner, like not a good match. But, what I will say, the true lesson I learned about this was when I was with my last ex, because I feel like no one loved each other more than we did.
Gotcha.
Honestly. And,
the one that was here, right?
And if we could not make it work, then love does not conquer all. Because love was not the issue. We loved each other up until the day we stopped talking. That was not the issue.
Right.
The issue is everything else, right? Like sometimes you have different lives. You have different goals. Maybe you live in a different place, right? So for us, it wasn't love. I never stopped loving him to this day. He's married to someone else. I still love him. I probably always love him. But, we were different people. He had children. I don't want children.
Right.
He lived hour and a half, 2 hours away. I wasn't going to move there.
Hour and a half with traffic.
Yes, with traffic.
Without traffic.
Without was an hour.
Right, about an hour.
Was an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours.
Right, with traffic.
Yeah, which can put a hindrance on your relationship.
Yeah, it can, man.
No, it was bad, but we had different goals. We were different people. We had different lives. Because I want someone who is fun. I want someone who
remember you explained it to me.
Wants to travel with me, and not only fun, but somebody that has depth, right? Like what we're talking about on these past couple of relationships, soulmates, past lives, spiritual stuff. I never could have talked to him about that stuff.
Yeah.
He was just like a meat and potatoes guy, like I had eggs for breakfast and then I went to the gym and now I'm going to work. And that's lovely for someone else. For me, I want to get into your soul, right? I want someone that really has some depth in a spiritual like I am. And so what it comes down to is just if you're different and you have different lives and different needs, it doesn't matter how much you love each other. And I hate to say it, because I would love it if love conquered all. But as you get older, you realize it's not the case.
It's not. And what I was going to say, if I can jump in real quick, is that love exists when healthy circumstances persist. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my words correct.
Expand on that.
Expand on that. So for a new healthy, loving relationship to happen and start and be fruitful and create itself, like you're saying, the circumstances have to exist, healthy circumstances, to allow that to happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a perfect example. And I gave this example on my last show, and I think it's a great example. Let's say you met a lady. Let's say a guy. You meet a lady, and she's perfect. And you guys meet. And you hang out.
I met a perfect lady.
Yeah, and you hang out for 5 days straight when you first met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely amazing. And a month later, 2 months later, you make it official. A month after that, you start saying I love yous. I mean, and nothing's wrong with this woman. Not one red flag. You're calling your friends, man, not one red flag yet. It's going on month 4.
Sounds like
things are just perfect. And one day, she tells you she's going to work, and one day, you're at your friend's bachelor party, and you guys go to a strip club. She's the first woman you actually see.
Okay.
And she never told you that she was a stripper.
Oh.
and when one of your friends say, "Oh man, that's your girl?" Yeah, my friend gave her $100 2 weeks ago and banged her in the room back there.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden, the circumstances are not healthy anymore.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
the love ain't there anymore.
The love ain't there anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could still be there, but the respect probably isn't there.
Yeah, respect isn't there, and then you will eventually fall out of love.
And the future's not there. Yeah. But
so going back to the first part,
you don't even have to fall out of love.
Love does not conquer all.
But you don't even have to fall out of love in that circumstance, right? Like I didn't fall out of love with my ex. It was just I was never gonna move there.
Yeah.
And go to Costco on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Like I want more out of life.
Yeah.
Than sitting at home with you and your kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, it's kind of like a cliche. Like I chose me. I chose my life in a way over any guy.
Over any guy, yeah.
No matter how much I love you.
Right.
I'm going to choose my life and what makes me happy. Because I knew.
And if they fit into that circumstance.
Yeah. Because I knew if I moved there, I would have been unhappy. I was unhappy on the weekends.
Right, when you would go out there.
Yeah, I'd go down there on a Saturday, and it was like, cool, we'd spend the day together. I'd stay over. As soon as Sunday morning came, I wanted to get home.
Right.
Like, I wanted to go back to my life. I didn't want to be part of his life.
Right.
And that's the challenge, is you have to make a life together, really.
And what's funny? I don't even think, talking about the word love, I don't even think I even realized what love was really about until I had my daughter.
Okay.
I honestly didn't know until 15 years ago.
So putting someone else first.
Yeah, I thought I knew, but that feeling towards Layla, and you haven't met her yet, you'll meet her, I'm sure, one day, but that feeling that I have towards Layla, when she was born and I had her, and watching her evolve into a human being, the love I have for her really taught me what love was actually about.
Right.
Even though it's a different love that I've had for exes, that I have for M and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, it's selfless.
It still taught me what this love thing is that they talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when it's someone like that, it may conquer all, because no matter what she does, no matter what mistake she makes, I'll always love that little girl the same.
But you can still love someone you're in a relationship with, but not be able to be with them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
Maybe they're an addict.
You're absolutely right.
Right? I mean, maybe they live in Alaska.
Yeah.
There's so many circumstances, as you're saying, that, and that's kind of the point that I was trying to make is like, you can love someone forever. I'll probably always love my ex. Doesn't mean it's that conquers all and that's going to keep us together.
Right. That's going to keep us together. Right.
It's not. There can be so many factors in the way. But my grandmother always used to say, you can love someone, but you have to like them.
Right.
And I get that now because I'm like, yeah, you know what? I loved him. Didn't always like him.
Didn't really like him.
Didn't really like him. Like,
I've heard that said before, and that's such a true statement. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it was like, you're kind of boring. You're not. We're not having these great conversations. We're not doing great things. You're not making me a better person, right? Right. That's the whole thing. There's so many factors.
Right.
So I'll love him forever. Yeah. Didn't like him a whole lot.
Right. And I also think one of the things I have on my list here that people make a mistake is they think that when you get married, love is the thing that they base that on.
No.
And to me, that's a huge mistake. And that's always the only thing people base it on.
Yeah.
Love has to be one of the things.
Right.
But there also has to be, and I know you're one who doesn't want to get married. I've been married before.
Oh, no, I didn't say I don't want to get married. I don't want kids.
Kids, that's right. Sorry, kids. Sorry, I'll stand corrected. Sorry, kids. So Rach, I mean, it can't just be love while you marry the guy you end up marrying.
No.
A lot of other things must be in line along with this love for the marriage to work.
Trust.
Because if you do it just because you love each other,
no. Yep. Well, you have to have the same goals, the same values. You have to trust each other. You have to have the same parenting, styles.
If you want kids,
right. Because, and I think, and that's why I always say don't get married young, because what if you get married and you're 25 and then you find out your husband is Jewish and your family's actually Catholic? How are you going to raise your kid? Or what if your husband's an atheist and you want to go to church on Sundays? Like, there's so many different things. You have to have the same values.
Yep.
How are you going to raise your kids? Right. Because like I have a friend right now from back home who she's kind of like me. Like she's very type A, alpha female. She's like a VP of a bank. Like she's a boss. But she wants kids like so much. And she just broke up with this guy that she's been with for years. So she's getting a sperm donor. And she said, honestly, I think it'll be better this way because I don't want to co-parent with somebody because that's someone else's opinion with your kid. And I was like, I totally get it. Because I always said if I
because you have to meet the right person that you guys want to rear them the same.
Like, because like my ex, I never would have had a kid with him because I'm the parent who'd be like smoking pot with my kid when they were a teenager. You know what I mean? I would be very laid back and be taking my kid to concerts. He'd be like, you can't do that. Like he was very strict, and it would be totally different. But my friend, her best friend was going through a divorce and she was like, I see the turmoil that goes on with that and the kids and everything. And it's a nightmare. And she goes, I would never want to deal with that. And I said, I get it. I always said if I had a kid, I would adopt kind of for both of those reasons. I don't want to do that to my body. And I don't like babies and I like sleep, all of that. but B, I don't want to co-parent with somebody. I just want to if I want to go out and get a babysitter and go. I don't want someone telling me to do with what to do with my kid.
Right. That's so funny. The way you said that.
It's true.
That's so funny.
No, I'm not a baby person. Like when people are like, do you want to hold my baby? I'm like, no, thank you. But when they're like 3 and 4 and they're really cute, totally, I love them. But like, I don't want to hold a baby. No, it's not my thing. I'm not a baby person.
Right. That's so funny.
But there's an author that I was telling you about called Mark Manson. He wrote an article about this, about love conquering all. I forget the name of it. It's something similar. He's so smart, you guys. Like read his articles. He's amazing. But he basically wrote this article about how love does not conquer all. And I read it and I was like, whoa, like years ago, like he's so right. And he starts out with how he was dating this girl that he fell crazy in love with. And I think he lived in New York and she was like across the country. Neither of them were ever going to move. And he said, and yet we kept up this relationship for 3 years. And And this was his whole point. It's like we loved each other to death, but it was never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so all you're kind of doing in those circumstances, and which is what I did too, is like you're just postponing the inevitable.
Right.
And you're staying with someone because you love them, but eventually you're not going to be with them, right? If the circumstances aren't right. Like you really have to want the same things too. And it is kind of so discouraging. Like it's just because there's so many factors.
Yeah.
And
when you meet the right factors, you get lucky and you just when you get in our age group, I should say, and you get lucky and
when you're 20 something, anything
got many options.
You're horny, anything
goes. You get many options. You got time to figure all the options out. You meet a ton of options. When you get in your 30s and 40s, the dating pool gets really small.
Married.
Yep. And when you meet someone and everything lines up, you just feel so lucky. Like, oh my God.
Yes, because I don't like a lot of people. I don't connect with a lot of people. I have some friends who could like date anyone. Like they go on Bumble dates every day. I'm like, how do you find people every day that you like? I'm like once a month. I'm like maybe you, I guess. But no, it's like I have to like you, which is the big thing. Then you have to like me.
Yep.
Then we have to want the same things.
Yep.
And we have to live in the same place.
Yep. Both together emotionally available
and physically available. Like neither of us are in a relationship, right? Because that's the other thing. I've worked with guys and I'm like, I'm totally into him. He's totally into me, but he's married, right? Can't do that. So yeah, that's the kind of the third trifecta before anything else is like, if I like you and you like me, we both have to be available.
Yeah.
And then all the other hurdles.
Yeah.
So it's
and to me, there's really no time limit on it either. And when you're in a new relationship, it always trips me out. And I always go off of what happens naturally and or organically, right? So with my current relationship, I remember when I naturally, organically felt like saying that. It just hit me one day.
Yeah.
And then when I started to talk about it, and then she started divulging to me when she felt like that and when it hit her.
Wait, what hit her?
Like feeling that she loved me and she wanted to say that.
With your girl now?
Yeah.
Oh, you already say it?
No, yeah.
So quick?
No, you can't say that though. And me and my mom, we had this conversation. My mom was like, boy, you can't put, my mom is so spiritual too. She's so intuitive.
Wow.
She was like, boy, you can't put no time limit on that. It's people that, so I'm going to tell you something. I was watching this thing with Lisa Ling the other day, right? And it was about swingers.
Okay.
And it was this couple on there. And this is it so goes into what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So they met on some dating app or whatever it was. They started talking on the phone. He said on Lisa Ling on CNN that he fell in love with her on that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next week, she moved from the state she was in to where he lives. They live together now. Totally love. But you know what I'm saying? My whole point is there's no time limit. So 2 months after the fact, for us to say that, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You can't put a time on that.
It's been 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me.
Not bad. My ex told me after 3.
Right. See,
but it surprised me.
For me, Rach, I don't put a time limit on it. For me, it's organic and it's real.
Right, of course.
If I feel it and it's organic and it's real, then I don't block it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, my ex waited, I didn't realize it's been 2 months, but I think because I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
My ex waited 3 months, but I'll never forget it because we were falling asleep. And he was just like, like lights are off, we're in bed. And he's just like, good night, love you.
Right.
And I went, love you too. I was almost like, is he talking in his sleep?
Right.
Like I didn't know.
It was just organic and it was real. He felt it and it just, sometimes it just happens and comes out.
He said it every day.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the weird thing because after we broke up and then, we kind of got back together without the title. Mm-hmm. And so for 2 more years, we acted like a couple and we kept talking every day and sleeping together, hanging out, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that was the one thing that was missing was because before when we were officially a couple, every time we'd hang up, it'd be like, love you, love you. And so it was weird. Even 2 years later. Yeah. Because we'd talk every day and it was just like, okay, talk to you later. Okay, bye. And it just felt so weird to hang up because I did still love him. Yeah, but it felt like inappropriate
to not hear it or not express it and stuff like that. Yeah,
but it felt inappropriate because we did still love each other, and it felt inappropriate. I feel like to be hanging up and not still saying it.
Not still saying it. Yeah. It's funny with my ex, the one that was a disaster.
The tour.
Right. So after a month and a half, we made it official. And I remember a month and a half after that was when she first told me. And we were at a party in Anaheim at one of her friends' place, a house party.
Okay.
And she was getting up from the couch and she just said it. And I was like...
She said it to you first?
Yeah, she said it to me first.
Of course she did, because she's a Taurus and they're like the man in the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. She said it to me first. So that was 3 months. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know, so my whole point is with everything's just been 2 weeks before. You know what I'm saying? Everything has been jumped 2 weeks, you know what I mean, ahead of what happened with my ex.
Right.
And you know, one of the things I tell her is that, I mean, it took me a year to find her. It's been a year since I was in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Anna was my last. It took a year, and it took her almost a year too.
That's not that bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Before my last ex, I was single for 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. So a year, it's not good, but it's not bad.
No.
But when you meet someone after a year, you gotta accept it and deserve it, and don't think that you don't deserve it. And wow, I mean, it took a year to meet you. Like
year's nothing.
Yeah, but that's still a long time.
I went 5 years, but you know what? He actually loved that.
And it went by so fast.
But
But
my ex loved that, because when I told him that, it makes you feel good as the man, because you're like, she chose me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because he knows I'm self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And I don't need somebody. Like if I can go 5 years without somebody, obviously I'm selective and I chose you.
Right.
Like,
right.
Well, dust that dirt off your shoulder.
And the thing about it is too, my last relationship was very traumatizing. Uh-huh. So I was emotionally ready, and she was almost a year from her ex, and she was emotionally ready, and she purposely waited until she was. There was other guys that liked her before me, and she was like, no, I'm not ready yet. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm happy that we both waited until we were emotionally ready.
Hurdle too is timing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we both were emotionally ready.
Yeah, because sometimes you can meet someone you like, they like you,
but then
you're both available, but you're not.
You're not emotionally available,
or the timing's off.
Time is off.
You know.
Yep, the timing's off. So yeah, you know, so I mean, I basically just told that story for our listeners. If you enter a new relationship and you feel it and it's organic, and you're the guy and you feel as if, you know, you're getting the same energy and it's symbiotic, you feel it, be real about organic and just say it. Bring it up. Have a conversation about it. Yeah. If you feel uncomfortable about just saying it, or if it's that first awkward, I love you or whatever. Just be real.
Or just say it in your sleep.
Yeah, say it in your sleep like this guy did with Rachel. Just say it in your sleep.
The next morning I was like, did he mean to say that?
Yeah.
Then he said it again. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was really getting to the point to where I would almost slip and say, you know what I'm saying? Say it. So I was holding back and holding back. That's my nightmare.
I'm always afraid I'm going to accidentally say it to somebody, like, like somebody I don't really know that well.
Right.
Bye, I love you. No, never mind.
What? Exactly.
Just kidding. I say it to everyone.
Exactly. So, you know, but at the end of the day, I honestly think don't be afraid, man. If circumstances are right and it's good, own it, accept it, be it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I have to say about the whole love thing. If everything is right, if circumstances are not right, then it's just not gonna work.
And sometimes timing isn't right, and you could come back together later in life.
That's true.
You know, because honestly, that was actually why I kept my ex around for so long, because I always felt like if we met later in life, things would have been so much different.
Yeah.
If his kids were out of the house and he didn't have to live in Orange County and he could travel actually be fun. Yeah. So that's actually why I kept him around for so long after we broke up, because I said, okay, one of two things is either going to happen. Because in 4 years, his kids are going to be out of the house, right? So I said, if neither of us meet somebody else in the next 4 years, things could be totally different. That's
true,
why
with the one here. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So he met someone else and married her. But it was funny. I was talking.
You did say that. That's right.
She told his kid and everything.
Wow.
Well, she got pregnant, so I think they did like a shotgun wedding. It looked like. But
wow.
But I was telling my Uber driver this in Denver, because we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm,
you know, these type of like time means everything, and
it is.
You know, love so not conquering all. And she said, well, you never know. And I was like, oh, no. Like, he married somebody else. And she goes, you still never know.
That's true. They can get a divorce. And I not
said,
saying you don't want to.
But she's having his kid now. Yeah, and she goes, you still never know.
Yeah, I'm not saying you won't. Yeah, that's true. Would you if they got divorced and he had a kid with her and all that? And
I have no idea.
Okay.
Like that's,
but it's not a hard no though. It's like
but the problem is we're going to be in the same situation now as we were, because now he's having a new kid and we got to start all over. Now we don't have 4 more years. We get 18 more.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
So and like no, not unless I'm old and things are different. Now he's stuck there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
So no.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the good thing about you is because you are in your 30s and you'll probably end up with someone in their 40s. Yeah. Most guys in their 40s already have kids, and you don't want a kid.
And I have dated single dads since I was 23. I'm not kidding. See, all my boyfriends have been single dads.
Yeah. So you might end up with someone in a perfect situation where, you know, you fall in love and he has a kid and you don't want him. It's perfect, and he wants to get married again.
Probably.
And,
I know my grandma. My grandma used to say that to me too. She's like, I just always saw you as somebody who had kids. And I was like, that's probably because that's all I date.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
probably what ended up happening.
And that's I mean, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool with me. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, especially if you don't want any. And a lot, because it's funny. 2 of my friends in wine country, it was just the opposite. The guy was younger. Mm-hmm. You actually met him, T and R. The guy was younger. She was older, and he wanted kids, and she didn't.
Oh, I didn't know she was older.
Yeah, she had been there, done that. Okay. So the timing was just off.
Oh,
you know, and he wants to get married and have kids, and she's like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And he ended up moving to North Carolina for work and stuff, and now she's with another guy that's in her age group that doesn't want the same thing.
These are the people I met, right?
Mm-hmm.
The new one, yeah.
Now she's with another guy that's in her age group. I think he may or may not have kids, but doesn't want any. And, you know, so now she met a guy that they're on the same level playing field. You know what I mean? And I felt bad because he really liked her and really loved her, I should say. But they just wanted 2 different things. And she was stepping outside of herself to just do what was happening to make him happy, even though they loved each other. But the circumstances just didn't exist for them to keep creating that. So it just,
I know it doesn't conquer all, guys.
It doesn't.
But that's the thing with dating apps too, like, because sometimes I'll sometimes I'll play around with them and then I get bored and I don't. But after I had met the guy in Denver a couple months ago, I was like, Menver. I know. And I matched with like another really cute guy there too. And I was, that's why I was so mad. He blew me off on Saturday because.
Oh, I'm going to make a note to mention something, but go ahead.
The cute guy, the new guy I matched with, the only night he could have met up was Saturday because he was flying out the next day for a work trip. Yeah. And I told him no because I was supposed to have plans with my guy. And then my guy blew me off and I was like, I should have gone with the other guy.
Yeah.
Put all my eggs in one basket, guys.
Yeah.
But the problem with dating apps is, with the age thing and everything is like, sometimes I'll be like, maybe I should like lower my age because there's so many more guys on it in like their late 20s to mid 30s, right? Like if I lower it or if I limit it to like, what is it? Like mid 30s to mid 40s. The pool is sad.
What do you have it on now?
Mid 30s to mid 40s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or late 40s actually.
Okay.
I think like 35 to 48 or something. Because, but truthfully, when I met the guy in Denver, I was like, this is the guy. This is like the type of guy I'm going to end up with. Right. Older, fun, has kids, doesn't want any more.
Exactly.
So because I had it to younger before, and because there's just so many more options, like the younger guys. But I just feel like deep down, I'm like, I know I'm not going to end up with a younger guy.
Yeah, they'll just be having fun.
They don't hold my interest. So I was like, so I kind of go back and forth.
Women mature faster. It's true.
Yeah. So I need, but I don't really see myself meeting someone on an app probably anyways,
Yeah. I mean, it always works for me better when I've met them in person.
Yeah.
Everyone I've met in person, I've ended up in a serious relationship with no one ever on an app ever. Not saying it doesn't work for some because it has and it does.
Yeah.
My friend R met her new guy on an app.
But I feel like.
Yeah. And it's working.
I don't know. I feel like those people also a lot of times probably don't have as high of standards. People that meet on apps. Yeah, because I think I told you this. My older sister, when she got divorced, she just can't be alone. She just wanted anyone then the second Match.com date she went on, she married the guy.
Interesting.
And I was like, you only met 2 guys and you married one of them? Like, did you... I know, I kind of feel like, did you have standards? Or do you just want like a warm body? I mean, he is a very good husband and a good father, and I think that's ultimately what she wanted.
Okay.
Not the most personable guy.
Right.
I would like someone with a little more personality for her, but her last husband had cheated on her, and like this guy would never cheat. Like he's a great husband, he's a great dad. He's solid.
He's safe.
He's safe.
I call him safe.
He's safe.
Yeah.
Right, he is.
Yeah. Because it is possible to get unsafe that is safe.
Right. But that's how I feel. It's like I feel like
He's
a lot of the
safe,
people who have success on dates online, it's like, did you look that hard? You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I don't know. I kind of don't really think about it. It's because I just have so much going on in my life.
Yeah.
That
And you always go to these shows and stuff too, and you know.
I meet so many guys on acting shoots.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have a problem.
I got 2 other prospects right now.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
I honestly don't. You know, but and for me, I'm very visual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was saying this to Crispy the other day. I was like, I'm happy I'm with someone that satisfies me visually because it makes me not want to look at others when I'm out, because I have my version of that.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted.
That's all you need.
Was my version of that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, looks will attract a man initially, but your soul will keep them.
You keep them there.
You know?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you want to have both because you want to entice them initially. But eventually, you know, you can be the hottest girl in the world, but if you're dumbass, you ain't gonna.
Oh, it's not gonna happen because I've had that too.
You're not gonna keep it.
I've had the hottest who was dumb, and I was like, no, it only lasted a week. Like,
and I've had the hot guys in LA with like the 6-pack and nothing upstairs.
Right, and that doesn't last either.
It doesn't. It didn't even last the date.
Right, you got to have both.
God.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's not gonna work. Before we go, I just wanted to say real quick, when she was talking about Menver, if you're on the West Coast or if you travel to the West Coast, I was going to say, guys, check out Sexy Seattle. I've heard that there are women in Seattle and they're super cool, super nice.
2 of my friends, actually, it's so funny you say that. 2 of my friends just moved there. Kelsey just moved there.
Oh, okay.
We had on the podcast.
Yeah.
She's got a job at Amazon.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so sad she's gone because she was like my West Side buddy.
Yeah.
But she was actually supposed to go to Denver with me, and she had to cancel. It was okay because I told her I was meeting up with the other guy and I had stuff to do. But she just got a job up there and she had to move last week. But Jess texted me last night and she was like, "Oh, I'm hooking up with this guy from Seattle," and I was like, "Oh, 2 of my friends just moved there," and she was like, "Yeah, we got to plan a trip."
Yeah,
I need a Seattle.
I've heard that the lot of cool women up there for single men, and they can't find good guys up there.
Oh,
I heard that, and I even met a group of girls from Seattle at the winery.
Okay,
they were in town for a wedding, and they were so cool.
Okay.
Yep. And everyone, had I not met M, I would have definitely made a trip up there.
Well, Jess had success in Seattle. Apparently, he's 26. But.
Yeah, seriously. I heard, if you're looking for good ladies, guys, go to Seattle.
And also, if you go to Seattle, don't park a rental car in front of the Space Needle because they'll rob you. That's what
serious?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. My rental car, they smashed the window. They stole everything.
Oh, my goodness.
Because we were on our way to the airport. So my friend's car was in the trunk and mine was in the back seat because we didn't have enough room for everything. We stopped there for dinner. They smashed the window. I had a GPS in there.
At the Space Needle? Wow.
In front of, because it's like on a main street you can park, but it's a very bad area for vandalism, which we didn't know.
Right.
They smashed the window, took everything. I mean, like went through my suitcase, took anything with a plug, laptops, GPS, hair straightener, everything. And the police came and they were like, "Oh yeah, they do this all the time because you have not a state plate. They know you're a tourist."
Right.
Yeah. So be careful. But I feel like I need a Seattle redo because I was only there for like 2 days. Because we were on tour with the band. So they were, it was like, 2 days in every city. And we were flying out that night. So I wanted to see Kurt Cobain's house. And it's like we did, but it was nighttime and I couldn't really see.
Right.
It was pouring rain.
It always rains up there. Yeah.
It actually doesn't. My friend said it moved there now. Oh, okay. She said it's a myth. She said it like in the winter, I think a lot. And I was there.
But
in the
other
winter.
than that, it's fine. Okay.
Yeah, she said it's nice. But yeah, I said I need a Seattle redo.
Yeah, man. I heard
I had a bad experience,
spot.
and I was like such a Seattle grunge lover in the '90s, all that music. So I need a redo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking that, so I won't be going for that. But I still like to go and visit check it out
Have
because I
fun.
heard it was a really cool place,
Yeah.
man.
Imani's off the market, ladies.
Yeah, I'm off the market.
Sorry.
Happily off the market too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. No one wants to date.
Right.
Dating
Sucks. It's exhausting. It sucks. Yeah.
I'd love to just have fun with it, you know.
Right.
At the end of the day, especially for a woman too.
Yeah.
Because you spend so much time getting ready and picking an outfit, doing your
That's
makeup
right.
and your hair.
Yep.
For a guy, and then but the downside for guys, you spend all this money, right?
We do. Yep.
So for both of us, there's a downside.
For both of us, there's a downside. So
Yeah.
I'm happily taking. I have no problems.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's our show. We good?
Yeah, we're
good. Sione, our
So-
cameraman, is going to be looking at us funny in a second about the
So
time.
to close, guys, love doesn't conquer all.
It doesn't.
You want to have same values, same goals. Ultimately have everything line up.
But when you find it, recognize it, own it, accept it. Don't put a time limit on it. Create it. If you cease to create it, it will cease to exist. You have to create it once you find it. That's another thing. Don't become complacent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you open the door from day one, continue to open the door 10 years later.
Always put them first.
Always put them first. That's right. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. That's another thing real quick. She got so surprised that I was making her the priority. She was like, "Oh my God, my ex never did that." That's another thing. I've always want to find out what she's doing first.
You're a solid guy.
Right.
You're a normal
I'm a normal
solid
guy. Yeah, I'm a normal guy.
But the problem with being not really a problem, but with being a normal guy is it's actually probably a good thing, but you're going to scare away the crazies because the crazy girls are going to want the dick guys, right? That are not nice to them.
Right.
So if you're a nice guy and you're just doing everything right, you're asking them out, you're making plans, you're treating them nice, some of them are going to disappear.
Right.
Because they want a guy who doesn't treat them well or who they have to chase, right? A lot of people want a challenge.
Right.
So I think that's going to be your struggle is you're going to have women like that sometimes who want the challenge, because you're actually a nice guy. Because I'm like that too. I'm very responsive. I don't play games.
Yeah, I don't play games. I don't have time for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's actually been good, man. I'm chill.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm postulating the positive. So that's our show. That's our show. Seriously, you have to, right?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, postulate, decide that it was going to be positive.
Okay.
From this moment on,
As a writer, I love learning new words.
Yeah, man, it's good.
My acting teacher was one of the most probably brilliant speakers I've ever met. He is so smart, and he would use these words, and I'm like, what is that?
What's that? And then you make a note. Yeah.
So into him. Man.
That's cool. Anyway, guys, that's our show. It's the Relationships, Romance, and Propaganda podcast. Imani, Shakur, Rachel K. Burke. We expose the truth and broadcast the lies. Don't forget to subscribe on ISNT Group Digital. And Happy New Year once again. And we will see you guys next week. And keep listening where you get your podcasts. Peace out.